Hi, so I'm here for Art Joy of Sharing today, and I'm going to talk to you about ATCs and how I go about doing that. I don't have, I like any of you, I have the style that I have, and so I'm just going to talk to you about what I do. I'm not as layered as lots of people are, so you will. You may find this a little bit simple so up to you whether you like this kind of thing or not. I had some film done, I thought, of the backgrounds that I made, but it seems to have not worked out very well. I had all kinds of squelchy sound in it. So but I think I've resolved the sound problem. Yay! And I'm going to show you how I did this. Now this one and a couple of others are done by these little tiny little deli papers, very thin deli papers, the kind you get with a donut. And they're just mop up of extra paint that I have because I work on a glass desk, so it's often got little bits of extra paint on it. So, just finding something interesting by putting the paper underneath it and saying, well, I like putting the little ATC size paper underneath it, and then I move it around and, see what I like. And I did that for a couple of them. I did some paper, music paper that also had mop-up paint on it for one of them. And I have one that I did this is a gel print that somebody sent me, which is absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love this piece of paper. Don't you like that? A little bit sparkly, a little bit metallic. So I'm quite happy with how things are going. And I'll show you, I'm going to putter around now, and, I may speed through stuff or just show you a little bit because this stuff tends to be fiddly at this point. So I'm putting on, which one do I want? I want a pen. I'm looking for a pen here. So I wanted this shell shape on here, but I still wanted the paint to show through. So I'm just going to use this 0.05 permanent pigment pen, and I'm going to just go around it, go around the stencil. I could have, if I was feeling brave, have free-handed something, but today was not one of those days. So I'm just going to carefully go around the stencil. Oop, it moved. Okay, so you kind of get the idea there. That may be hard to see. There you go. So I'll finish that off screen because, you don't need to sit here and watch me do pen work. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And this one, I really like this, and I thought I'd put it on top. This is thicker deli paper, and it's just a print, a stamp. Sorry, not a print, a stamp onto the deli paper. And I thought the design worked well, but I'm not sure. This is such thicker deli paper, it will dissolve a bit, but not much, and it'll take away this copper paint. Because you matte media the pieces together, they're going to lose that copper paint. So I think I'm going to try the ink pad, and you know, we'll see how far we get. I think this might work. So before I knew anything about stamps, and you know, I bought this humongous ink pad. I don't know. It's one of those things you do and you think, you know, afterwards you think, why did I think that was a good idea? I don't have any idea. I can't fit the whole stamp on, so I have to decide what do I want, what do I not want. And I think the black is the thing to use for sure. One of the things I've learned is that you need to leave the stamp on there long enough for the ink to actually transfer to the paper, which I didn't understand before. So I would make this nice stamp, you know, but the ink didn't have enough time to transfer. Now, so, ta-da! And we have nothing. Isn't that fun? That did not work at all. What do you think about that? Well, I don't have any idea what I'm going to do now. And so it goes with art. You do things, you think they're going to work, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Okay, well this one I'm a little more confident of. This one is that beautiful gel print, and I'm going to just matte medium these two pieces together. This is a very lovely little piece of art that I got from Gina Ahrens, who has beautiful things in her Etsy store. If you run across her, this is in her small art series. And a series I really like because, you know, they're beautiful little pieces of art all on their own. And I need some kind of a brush. Okay. Now, how do I put this? This way, this way. I think this works in many different directions. This kind of looks upside down. And I have no idea at this point which side is up for Gina. So I'm just going to have to trust my own judgment on what I want on this little piece here. I did put a tiny bit of yellow paint around the edge of this piece so that it would so you wouldn't have that stark white edge, and I did tear that piece. I don't for most of the time I don't like to have that you know, sharp edge. Sometimes it doesn't matter, you know, you're doing something that's different, and even though this is an inkjet print, you'll see that almost no color came off there from the printing. So that's a good thing, I think. And I put that down to the fact that it's a Epson. They have a special kind of ink in their machines, and it dries not completely permanent. The darker the color, the more likely you are to have a bleed through, but pretty darn good. So what am I going to do with that now? I don't know. That at least is a step. I have not had a lot of success here this morning. So here's another one that I have that I think will work. Here's another one of those deli prints backgrounds. Just mop up paint that I was already using, and I love seashells, so I think I'm just gonna, this is a seashell out of a coloring book that I painted with I don't know with what, acrylic I think. We're gonna find out. If it's water-based, we're gonna be in trouble. Oh wait, maybe we'll just try not putting that on there. That's a fairly thick piece of paper, and yeah, I might be better off to put it on with gel medium instead of matte medium, instead of the liquid matte medium. But I'm going to go for it. Wouldn't be terrible if the edges of this were lifted, but I would want to try and keep them on there. It looks like it's going to stay pretty much. Yes? No? Yes? I think it needs a little weight, so I'm going to put it over here and put a little bit of weight on it where it seems to be lifting. Let's see if I can get it to stick. Okay, so what else do I have here? I have one completely, I think this is a scrap of, oh, it suddenly looks dark in the, why is that? Oh, it's, okay. It's my computer, not you. Okay, so this is just a scrap of, I had a homemade roll that I had put on stuff, and that was, but I kept this piece because I really liked it, and I think I might just put this on here. See, I think it's going to fit fine. So here's another ATC I'm going to get done. And this is, you never know which one to start with. But if you really want to have things not wrinkle, you need to put matte medium on both surfaces, or glue on both surfaces, because you that's tricky on this one, because you can't, you're kind of guessing where that image is on the back. But there is glue on both sides, both items, so should be able to. And here we go. I think we'll just start with this edge here, see if we can't. Okay, I think we got it. Got most of it anyway. So I really like this. Now I don't know what I'm doing with it. I cut this little image of a building out. I had it in my stash of images, and I think think that's going to go on here. But, you know, until this dries and I can take it out, I don't know for sure. So, what do you think of that? You think that might go on there? Maybe. We'll see. All right. Well, I think I have one more here I can show you. My grandchildren were here. Look at that. One of my granddaughters did. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Kaleidoscope cats there. So I wanted to show you this page because this is an interesting process page. This was a page that I made in the journal a day project in November. I think that runs in November. And it's a photocopy of a gel print. This is the gel print, and then I made a larger piece, like 9 by 12 journal page, and it had this textured stuff and these poppies, and I photocopied that and then tore it up again and made another journal page. And now I have cut this last journal page out. So this is like, for me, this is like layer upon layer upon layer. But it isn't thick at all, because the process is takes place over time. So I do like the gel print, and then I photocopy the gel print, and then actually I don't think I did photocopy the gel print this time because I was just starting out. And I made a journal page which I was really happy with, and then I photocopied that, and then I tore it up and made another smaller journal page with the photocopy pieces, and then I made an ATC out of a piece of the journal page. So feathers is what it says there. So it's probably hard to read because it's just my handwriting. So that's my just to give you an idea of where you might go. You know, if you have a journal page and you just love this little piece of it, you know, photocopy it. Just stick it in your printer, copy it, and you know, then you can have an ATC of that little piece. You know. Anyway, just a thought. So one more idea. And I think I'm going to close this off for the moment and see if I can get a little more organized here. Okay, so I just came back for a minute just to show you what I did to finish these off. Nothing fancy, just a little pen work here to create a frame. I did end up really liking this this one with the city, the building. To me, it speaks of cityscapes and the metallic in the paint, and yeah. So I like this one a lot. This one is the outline of the stencil, which I really like. I really enjoyed doing. Yeah, and I know lots of people put words on theirs, and sometimes I do, but In this bunch, I haven't tried to do that. This one, was the stamp that didn't work, and I just sketched in black line. Um, you know, I think it's probably less successful in some of them, but it's all right. Um, and I think that's the thing about them. There, some of them really work well, some of them don't, but you get a chance to practice on a small scale. Many different kinds of things, and I think that's always useful when you're doing art. So I like this one too. I like that shell. And of course, there's this one that was lots of fun to explain to you, and I think might be an interesting technique for people to try. And that is isolating a piece of your a piece of another journal page or a piece of another artwork and cutting it out as an ATC. The one more thing I want to talk to you about is that I try and put on the back of mine this piece of paper that I purchased from Mike Deakins, and it tells you what the artist trading card, the date that you made it, your name. If you're giving it away, you can put your contact information on it. But for me, it's more about remembering when I did it. So I don't usually put the contact information unless I'm going to, unless I'm sure I'm going to give it away. But I always put these on the back. It covers up a mess if you've made a mess, and it just gives you a chance to remember. What was I doing when I did that? Yeah. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and that you'll give me a thumbs up and a comment so that I can give you a comment back. And if you think you might like to see more of me, you can subscribe. There's also a link in the description box below to Art Joy of Sharing's Facebook group, and there you can find all the links to all the videos that have been done this month about ATCs, and many other interesting techniques and ideas for you to try. So I'll see you next time. Bye.